have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, hello, fellas. How the devil are you? It's the band. The boys are back.
Yes,
Good to see you.
are.
Happy Tuesday.
Oh,
Have
yes.
you noticed? I don't know if you noticed, but we always in the UK we say you as in tube, YouTube, and Tuesday. But in the States, you say tube and
We do not. No.
Tuesday.
No, we don't.
I don't know what's right or wrong. I've come to the conclusion in all of my years that in many ways the way that you guys have skewed it is the way that we should be. And funnily enough, that's what we're doing. We're adopting it. It's weird. We are becoming 53rd state. And I think that's okay. I don't have a problem with that. Talking of which, I'm coming over there next month. Woohoo!
Florida.
I'm coming stateside. Yeah.
Where are you headed? The Keys. You're heading towards the Keys. Yes.
Yeah.
Very
The Keys. We're I'm not quite sure. The girls have sorted it. I learned after many years to stay away from getting into the organising of vacations. I just go, yes, whatever. Happy with that. That sounds absolutely superb.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little blue water and a jet ski.
Right, yeah. The
Let's
shame,
hope.
the shame
Let's
of
hope.
it is there's not many people down there that watch the show. So, it's all that I could. But it would take me so long to come up and see you guys.
It would.
It would be an internal flight situation. Anyway, enough of my first world woes, guys. How have you been this last week?
Just playing games in Discord, and I went and saw Super Mario. Amazing movie. It felt so good. I would look at my son and see, he was just like just happy.
Oh.
Some of those games he hasn't. I grew up, playing those games, but it was just amazing watching them. I think. I love Jack Black. I loved him playing King Koopa. I thought he did a fabulous job.
King Koopa. He was in the last week's Mandalorian. Was it the week before last?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Lizzo. Interesting combo.
Who's Lizzo?
Jabba the Hutt.
Whoa!
I'm playing.
Where did that come from?
I'm playing. I love her music.
Who's Lizzo? Who are we talking about?
She's a singer out here in America, and
she was Jack Black's wife, the princess or the queen or whatever it was there on that planet. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's extremely talented.
Yes, she is.
Is she, or are you just backpedaling, Ray?
I'm backpedaling. I don't want to get
He's
canceled.
filling that hole in. He just
I was surprised. You know the guy in Stranger Things who played the sheriff.
Yes.
I forgot the character's name. What was he called? He had like a short name, I don't know. Anyway, I found out today, and I mean, I don't know if you guys know of Lily Allen. Have you ever come across the pop singer Lily Allen?
Come on, man. Oh my God. Come on. I had love her.
Okay.
Would love her.
She's
You
married to
would love
him.
her.
She's married to the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Yes.
I didn't know this. I found it out today. I find out this kind of stuff. I was just flicking through the trash papers, as I do every day, the celebrity gossip column, and there it was. Didn't know.
my favorite character that actor plays isn't on Stranger Things.
Hopper. Thank you.
Yeah, Hopper. It's actually the Red Captain America. He plays the Soviet Captain America. I forget what movie now.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. Yes. Great,
Ooh.
great character, man. Great
Oh
character.
my
don't-
god!
I
See,
don't- I
now I'm singing her song "Smile." I love
Oh,
her.
Lily Allen. Yeah, that's right. I thought we were back to Lizzo.
No, I'll say at
No.
least we got her out of his head.
No,
Do 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 do. That's
Yes.
right, Ray. Well done, my
Yeah.
friend. Her father's a very famous actor in the UK as well.
yes.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there you go. Hey, we should just be. I mean, we talk like this because, of course, being a band, we like to look at we like to talk about the other people in our industry.
Yeah, the competition.
Yeah, I know. I ain't marrying no sheriff from Stranger Things. Just that ain't happening, fellas. So Raymond, you've been playing some games. You've been doing.
I went and got Demonologist, where you go into haunted houses and talk to demons. So if you played Phasmophobia, it is exactly like that, except you're different area. But you talking to the microphone, you can talk, "Hello, Susan."
Testing.
And then stuff would fall off the walls, and
What?
you get scared, and yeah, it's just
I tuned in and Ray said I've got to let you know I played a little bit of this before and somebody whispered in my ear and that was it. I was out.
I did a test run. I turned all the lights out. I went in the house, and all I had was my flashlight, and it was just darkness. And then
That is underwear changing territory.
Was that and you had your head? Did you have like the whole kind of
Yes.
5.1 surround
yes,
sound?
I had
headphones?
it cranked up, and they'll tell you get out, because there's different types of ghosts.
Your pants.
Different types of
Vet to this.
demons.
Where's Donald? Vet, where's Mickey? You gotta tell you, no, yeah, that's spooky stuff. The only game that I've ever jumped at was the Blair Witch game. Similar kind of thing. That was, and it
That's
caught me the
weird.
second time. Yeah,
It's a weird game, yeah.
No
Very
other
atmospheric,
games.
though. Yeah,
very
And
atmospheric.
then Rock, one more shout out. I am playing The Last of Us 2. $9.99 at the PlayStation door.
And Ray
Store.
Ray got to we're not going to give spoilers or nothing, but he got to a traumatic part in the game that got him emotional.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he's going to have to experience that again in the show
I
when it
know.
comes back for season 2.
There's only like there's certain yes, I am emotional. There's like Red Dead Redemption. Who come on? When you play Red Dead Redemption 2, the story, Arthur and everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe what happened in The Last of Us 2, and I was like, I had to turn off a PS5 and just like, oh my god, did
Decompress
I just
a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I know what you're saying. I was like that when, in Garfield Kart when I went off the track once. That's moving.
That
man.
poor little cart.
Yeah, it was just the lasagna going everywhere. I felt for the little guy. How about you, my good friend Wilhelm? What have you been up to?
I picked up Metro Exodus Gold Edition or something
What a
for
game.
for almost next to nothing, and I completed it. I'm working on the DLCs right now, the 2 kernels and the other one, but I have to say this: you have a good ending and a bad ending. Both are sad.
Yeah.
I got the bad ending because they don't explicitly tell you don't have to murder everyone in the game. There's actually people that'll give you side missions, but if you kill everyone, you don't know that, and you end up getting the bad ending. But fantastic game. I'd recommend it to anyone.
I completed it, but I don't know whether I got the bad ending or the good ending. I mean, I actually teared up at the end of that game, Metro Exodus. That's a sad ending, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very sad. Great game though. Awesome mechanics. Very atmospheric. The semi-open world. The different chunks they give you are really,
gorgeous.
really cool. And I dove back into Cyberpunk, which is what we're going to talk about later. But
I did a bit of that as well. It's just stunning.
yeah,
isn't
I
it?
had to check out
Beautiful.
that path tracing overdrive mode. Just very exciting stuff, man. Very exciting stuff.
Did you? Well, we'll come on to it in a second. But did you play it on on your rig, or did you play
Yes.
on G4? You did.
Yeah, I played
yeah.
it on my rig. Ray talked me into it. Now, anytime you can have you could be playing on a baked potato or a high end rig, and you still get the power of that 4080. So
Yeah.
I could have used it, but no, I cranked up the 4090.
That's what you spent the money for.
I know,
Yeah.
but Ray,
Yeah.
but Ray, you could, I could be playing that game with my PC at idle, no temps rising or going anywhere.
true,
Just
true,
you know, it's exciting to be able to do
Yeah.
that. But
did you know they've come out with a mod that allows you to play it on lower cards, like 30 series cards?
oh, that's cool.
So a third party came up with it, and what I watched it was on. What are they called? Those guys that do all the reviews. Anyway, them. And what they basically said was that instead of the 2 points of light that they create the tracing with, they cut it down to 1. It still looks really good, but it allows far less processing, so it can work
Yeah.
on like a 3070.
I want to specify that what this basically is a glorified tech preview demo. It's for what is going to be coming down the pike, so to speak. If things continue the way they are, so it's actually not really built with the 4090 in mind or the 4080. It's actually looking forward, to cards that will be able to utilize it without having any kind of performance hit. That's what's coming.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Very cool looking to the future. though.
Beautiful
Yeah.
looking. It's worth just going in and walking around.
It is.
It's just so amazing. So for me, fellas, I've been continuing my relationship with the Switch. So lots of Animal Crossing, lots of Breath of the Wild. But I have to say, I've also got back into Disney Dreamlight Valley. I'm having a second childhood. I'm loving it. I've been playing a ton of that. I even bought it again. So this is the third time I've bought Dreamlight Valley. In fact, fourth, because I gave a copy away. But I bought it for the Switch. Once I discovered that you can save to the cloud, and then you can play on any platform you like. You can pull your saves down.
Cross save, huh?
Cross save. I'm away with
Nice.
and it works. I'm so happy.
That's
so
fantastic.
I've been playing some of that, and I've been playing Animal Crossing with my eldest and her boyfriend as well. So
I
we've
saw
had
you diving for shells.
I
Rock,
love a few
I'm gonna-
shells.
Rock, when COVID had hit, my daughter, I got on an airplane and I flew to her island, and she gave me a tour of her island and her house, and I was like, oh my god! And here, Dad, look, here's some extra money for you, so you can. It was just, oh my god, it was just amazing.
That's cute.
It's we were saying this. It was completely obviously by chance. It happened to coincide with lockdown across the world, and it exploded as a game.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely exploded, but still doing really well. And I'm loving a bit of that. So, but I tell you something else I played. Was it yesterday or the day before? I forget. I think it may be the day before. I got a free code to go and play a game called Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened, which is actually a remake of a 2007 game by a Ukrainian studio. It's actually quite enjoyable. It's Unreal 5, all 3D and puzzle solving and stuff. But actually, I whacked a video. There's a video up online. I did a couple of hours of it. So if anybody's interested, go and check the video out. But that was quite
I
good
will
fun.
check it out.
Yeah, I mean, there's no mic, there's no commentary, but you get to see, the thinking behind solving a couple of the puzzles. It's all very visual, so I think you'll enjoy it. Actually, I know you guys, both you guys, I think would enjoy the puzzle side. I'm a bit stuck. I've only got to the second puzzle, and I'm already stuck, and that's on simple idiot mode. So. So what do you
not
do?
a puzzle guy. What's going on, Cowboy?
Yeah. Oh, have we got the young cowboy in the house?
Oh, we got
there he
a lot
is.
of amazing.
What's
a
going
lot
on,
of amazing
boys?
people
There
in
he
here.
is. Bless him. Yeah. Oh, we all get on the news, but it was young cowboy's birthday a few days ago. 47. He's catching you up, right? It's hot on your tail.
Yes, yeah.
But he went. Yep. He went to have his normal, his kind of shrimps and coleslaw and everything, and he went and stayed away with the wife, and had a gay old time, as they used to say on the Flintstones. And it was good. He's got a vlog. I like watching his videos of his away stuff. What do we call them, guys? Is it VOD, vlog, or Vader? What are they called?
Vlog.
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 Vlog the Impaler. He's almost as old as Ray. Not quite. And nobody's as old as me. But
Well, Anthony, I know you're getting older, my friend, but don't do any more kick flips and mind the shoulder. We're getting old. I'm just saying.
yeah. Did you, when you were young guys, did you used to watch a show called Big John, Little John? What a way to go. No,
I did not.
oh, struck out on that one. It was about this guy called John.
Really?
Whoa. Hold on. Let me stop you right there.
It's true.
Hold on.
No, he found the secret of youth. And he was Big John, and he drank it, and he became Little John.
Oh.
You see? Big John, Little John. I was only going to say I also discovered that same elixir. And even though I'm 93 years old, it's doing me well. Fellas, should we get on with the news?
Yeah.
I think so, says everybody. Of course, no David today, sadly. David has he's basically succumbed to his nascent vampirism. And he's alive through the night and asleep in the day. And if a shard of light should hit him on the face, he'll go up in a puff of smoke. So he's asleep. He's probably awake, but he was asleep. Let's get to the news. Hey, where's me news?
Oh.
Where's the news? Where's it all gone? We've got David in the corner, but we haven't got my news. Let me add it to the scene. It should
Say
be.
it. There's Bear.
Oh, yeah. Dear old Bear. Right, let me just drag this. I've no idea where my actual news has gone, so I'll just drag this down here and we should be good. Or not. Are we still hiding behind everybody? Yeah, no, they're kind of me, other than me. So that's come down. Oh, no, it's all gone to pot, fellas. Now it's even worse. Hang on, where's this? That's that one, and that needs to come...
Say, I'll put more emojis in the chat. Don't worry, it'll help.
There we are. No, we're in. It's working. It's all good. I think. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, the news. So we start with this little gemette, which is, it's not really news. It's an observation, I suppose. And it's that somebody said to me the other day, they said, oh, look at this tweet. Somebody had tweeted a video that they had made saying, this is how you can play any game from the Steam library on Boosteroid. And interestingly, that is true. And in the past, Boosteroid were like, yeah, whatever. But Boosteroid jumped in and said, stop, cease and desist. If you don't take this video down, we will ban you and your account and you'll never be allowed to play on Boosteroid again. And I said to that individual, this was a couple of days ago, I said, yeah, this is clearly them. They've been told to tidy up their act. I always thought this would be the case, that eventually they would succumb to pressure. If they were going to play with the big boys and get sustained ongoing growth, they'd have to work with people. And of course, we did see over the last month, Microsoft getting very chummy with them, promoting them, allowing them this whole 10-year moving forward thing, and adopting them as their sort of in-house charity for Ukrainian support and so on. And then just to kind of exemplify this, there's this news item that Boosteroid has removed 45 games from its library. Now, these were games we suspect, or at least our good friends at Cloud Dosage suspect, and I do love the way they've got the little Boosteroid logo. How do they get away with using the Starship Enterprise?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I mean,
definitely its likeness. It's definitely
it's 100%. There's no connection.
It's a crystal ball leaning to the side. So if you turn it up, it's actually a crystal ball.
If they had Q in their name, Ray, I think they could get away with it, but they don't. And I suspect that that's the next thing that we'll see change. Anyway, Cloud Dosage have noted similarly that, it was almost the Wild West, the way that Boostroid were operating. And fair enough, they got away with it for a long time.
Much
and of
like
course
the way... Go ahead. Sorry.
Go on.
I was going to say, much like the way GeForce did in the beginning, they
say.
had access to everything. Yeah. Anything that you already purchased that is in your catalog, you were able to log in on another computer and access said catalog. And then slowly developers were like, hey, where's our cut? What are you doing? Yeah. Once they got out of beta, they said, no, we're removing everything and slowly adding back as we get access or we get the signed or the contracts signed and dotted.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's what we're seeing in motion here. This gradual move from being kind of, let's just do it and see if we get away with it. Best to do it and then ask permission than ask permission and be told no. To the point where they're now saying we really need to clean up our act, guys, because we're going to get, we're going to make some enemies. So I think it's a good thing. I mean, personally, I really do want to see Boostroid succeed. I think it's great that there's additional competition in the space. And if they become something more professional than they've been as a consequence, it's good for everybody, right, Ray?
See, I'm torn because, as a gamer, I love playing these games. But then also, you got to respect there's people who write the music, the song tracks to these games. There's people that do the art and the coding and everything. And they're not getting paid, and they're not getting the credit. So on that, I do understand, And I saw Graphics Gear. He said they're cracking down on emulating games and stuff like that. They've been doing a lot of that, cracking down on.
Yeah, Xbox just removed emulation
doing that. So
just to do with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, people are getting paid because you can't play a game on the service unless you've bought it. You can't fire up a game that you don't own unless it's a free to play.
Right. Well, the part that gets me confused about this is that basically to side load a game like that is actually against their service, like the fine print of their service, even though you're like able to do it. So if they're monitoring and catch you side loading the game, they can ban you at that point. But the interesting thing is what you were referring to, Rokk, is that I really think that somebody sat down and said, if we're going to have this deal in place and we're going to, work together, we're going to have to make sure that you're following the rules of of what's set forward, So
I mean, Shadow do a similar thing, but they don't pretend to be a cloud gaming platform with all of the games already pre-installed, etc. They just say it's your space, put on there what you want to.
And then Graphic Gear, he's talking about games 30 years. People are not getting paid from games that are 30 years ago. I agree.
Emulation.
But guess what? Some of these new games that are coming out now, they're doing that with the newer games that are coming out right now.
Well, the remakes and the remasters and things.
Nintendo
should be very worried about emulation because it's not very hard to emulate the Switch at this point.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other conversation about compensation. And ultimately, if somebody works for a company and their contract is explicitly that they get paid for the hours, then they got paid. Now, whether that company that owns the IP for what they developed can make profit moving forward is entirely down to their employer. If they have a contract that says they're entitled to a percentage of sale, that's a different animal, particularly if they don't receive the money. That's a different animal altogether. So, and even people like content writers, game developers that come up with the concepts within a company, you could argue that, it's not fair, is it? They came up with the idea, but that's what their contract stipulated, that they got paid. If you work for CNN and they do a rerun of your show every few years, you can't keep going back and saying, well, hang on a minute. We said, well, no, you got paid. Like Laurel and Hardy, the classic, they were paid by the day to start with. They had no rights. over the ongoing sale of the films, but the industry got wise to it, and moving forward, the agents of the actors and the creatives.
Are we talking about the Black Widow? Are we talking about the Black Widow? Because she actually did sue, because when the movie went to streaming, she was upset. She's like, "Hey, where's my?"
It was supposed to go to the theater, and she had a deal. I believe
Right.
Scarlett Johansson had a deal with Disney that when it went into the theater, she was going to get a percentage. And it didn't go to the theater; it went straight to streaming, and she was
Yeah,
upset.
that's what's happening, isn't
I
it?
can understand.
But you know what's coming though, guys, beyond that, and the Mandalorian, we've talked about it recently, is a good starting point. You know, how much of the Mandalorian has your main man acting on the screen
Oh yeah,
versus a
hardly any.
stand-in
Yeah,
versus
hardly
his
any.
voice, and you're getting to a point, we know it now, where CGI and AI does such a great job. There's a was it Ray? Was it you telling me? No, I think it was Cowboy telling me that there's a new
Cowboy.
movie about with James Dean in, who we know died many years ago. Now I'm sure the family will get a percentage of something for his likeness, but you can
Well,
absolutely see the future where they don't need these guys to be on screen, and they'll just get paid a percentage for their likeness.
you remember those old vacuum commercials that came out a while back where it had that singer on it, and he's singing around and dancing with Kirby and stuff, and he's long been dead, but they paid his
Family,
yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
his
just
estate.
you're
estate.
talking about
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddy Hackett?
No,
Was
no,
it
no, no, no,
Hackett
no.
from
The,
the Herbie Bug, the race car
Kirby.
Disney?
Henry
Oh,
Hoover,
Kirby.
Dirk Dyson.
I thought you said Herbie. I
Yeah,
thought
no,
you
no,
said
no. It was a
Herbie.
vacuum company, and they brought a old celebrity, Dean Martin or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And they ended up paying the estate because they did. They CGI'd his face and everything. And
Graphic
Graphic
says
says Fred
Fred Astaire.
Fred
Astaire.
Astaire. That's
Yes.
what it was.
All
Okay.
right.
But the interesting thing is, though, is now they can do it with voice as well. Like the music industry is going to be in shambles, maybe in a few years because of it.
Yeah.
Like I can totally mimic Rock's voice and get him to say anything I want, or
He
I
already
can,
does, ladies and gentlemen.
I can mimic Rock and do any dialogue I want. It's
Wait a
very
minute.
compelling.
Well, they're
You can
using
also-
it to do scams, aren't they? I mean,
you can
people
also-
are getting
you can-
calls
you-
saying that
you can-
your
you
kid's
can
been
also-
kidnapped.
You can also scan his face and do some horrible things to him
Don't
on
give it all
video.
Oh.
To
Now, listen,
video.
there's an old person's OnlyFans that's waiting for it all. There's money to be had. But it's true, there are scams going on right now where they're synthesizing the voice of a family member,
Yeah.
phoning up a parent and saying, we've kidnapped little Jimmy, and you've got to mail us $40,000 or he's going to get it. And it's like, Mom, send the money. Don't let them do it to me, Ma.
I think the time and age we live in is absolutely remarkable, but I think we need to be careful with AI. It's going to change the planet very quickly.
It's already happening, mate.
Before, like so quick, you're not even gonna believe it.
I actually think Elon Musk is AI. I don't think he's real. I think he was a beta. And he's got loads of defects still.
Well, if you listen to Elon Musk, we're most likely living in a simulation. So there you go.
Yeah, well, he certainly is. Not stimulation. I think he's artificially stimulated. That's for sure.
yeah.
Oy vey. Right, gents. Anyway, that's Boosteroid, and I'm. It's just interesting to watch them evolve and develop. I think it's a good thing. Now, can they catch GeForce Now up? Well, the next story is really interesting. How much do you guys think? And you may already know because you probably saw the article, but how many, if you didn't, how much money do you think GeForce Now is making a year from cloud services? Do, 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 do,
I don't know. I have no idea. No idea.
I mean, I would have thought
hundreds of millions.
hundreds of, maybe 50, 60 million, right? What about 1.4 billion?
Wow.
Now, this is an article in the Motley Fool which in fact, I might just squeeze this down to make it end up seeing the whole of the thing. Here we go, that'll do. The Motley Fool, which is, it's a reputable financial paper, or at least a website, and they talk about Nvidia predominantly. Now, this isn't new. This goes back a few weeks, but they reckon, and in fairness, it's kind of back of a cigarette packet accounting. It's like, well, if there's that making that amount and that making that amount, then what's left must be this. So you've got to kind of take it with a pinch of salt.
Fast addition and rounding up. Let's do it.
Exactly. But what they say, if I can find the paragraph, the actual paragraph. Let me find the actual paragraph. Yeah, so here we go. Nvidia generated 11 billion in revenue from its graphics business last year. Of this, 9 billion came from sales of gaming graphics cards, 1.5 billion from sales of professional visualization cards used in workstation PCs. So the company generated 10.5 billion from sales of its physical cards, indicating that the GeForce Now cloud gaming business generated 1.4 billion.
I see how they get that number. It's all that's left.
That's all that's left.
I like this.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, there's bound to be other little revenue streams and things they haven't thought about or they don't even necessarily know. But it does indicate that we're in the billions rather than the tens of millions, doesn't it?
To be honest, it doesn't really shock me that the number could be that big. Now, if you look at the overall number, that is nothing. GeForce Now is not going to influence the company to do anything, even at that money. But the interesting thing is that they gave you the 4080 for $20. I wonder if some of this accounting here is because of a whole bunch of people wanting to test out a 40 series card without coming off the scratch or the coin. It's interesting.
You're absolutely right. I mean, churn, as they call it in subscription service land, is so massive. And of course, with GeForce Now, who don't produce a single game, they are completely reliant on the market and the games that they clear provision for their platform. And I think that's still their biggest issue by a country mile. It's not like Ubisoft. Ubisoft's subscription service is completely down to how quickly they can get titles out the door. And we know that even titles that just recently, they talked about a new DLC for Far Cry 5. I think that's the latest one, isn't it? Far Cry 5 or Far Cry 6? 6. And I thought, wow, this looks good. It's a whole new DLC. You go off into this bizarre world and do stuff. And then it said, coming December 2023. It's like, no, guys, you've got nothing for 2023. It's dead, desert, void. Whereas with GeForce, it's purely down to and some great games out there, but they're missing games like Hogwarts Legacy. If they'd have had Legacy on board at the time of day and date release, or as near as damn it would have had massive impact on people look at what happened with Boosteroid. They pushed Hogwarts Legacy, having it on the platform. They couldn't get enough servers online to cope with demand.
They didn't have enough hardware to host all the people who wanted to play it without having the PC.
Exactly.
It's
interesting. I mean, the terrific growth in NVIDIA's cloud gaming base, says Motley Fool, also means that it is the service of choice for gamers. According to Newzoo, that's a financial consultancy, there were 31.7 million paying users of cloud gaming services last year, which means that NVIDIA's share is an impressive 79%. Now, I don't know when they say last year, whether that included Stadia or whether it's post Stadia. I'm assuming it was throughout Stadia's tenure as well, which makes me feel 79% is probably on the high side, given that you had, I mean, I'm not saying Stadia had a huge base, but it had, it had some users. There were three of us sat right here.
Yeah.
Amazon Luna,
Right.
and then some
But I
others
think all
coming up.
three of us, as well had Stadia, but also was paying GeForce Now as well
Yeah, that's
at
true.
the same time.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good shout. Nothing to stop people from having more than one, of course. And they don't, and what they're not including in their analysis is xCloud or what was PS Now, of course. Because then, I mean, they're talking again about separate standalone cloud gaming platforms, whereas your xCloud and your PlayStation are kind of adjuncts, aren't they, to their gaming. So, but if you put
I think-
all of those in the mix, that's an interesting thing to consider.
I think it shows the distance between what is actually making the company its money, and it's clearly the graphics cards.
Yeah, yeah.
Clearly. But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's to be expected, of course. You know,
Although,
that-
in fairness, that is 10% of revenue. If these numbers are anything like realistic, and actually 10% is what a lot of people make in profit, as a margin. So it's not to be sniffed at overall. And it would be the shareholders would want to see that develop because they, at this moment in time, Nvidia can still state that it is a growing, evolving market. It hasn't stagnated. It hasn't peaked. So they can go to the board or to their shareholders and say, we're number one in this field. We're still investing in it. We still believe that it's hardly touched the edges as far as potential market growth is concerned. And that gets shareholders on board and investing more and putting more money in. So I think that's a quite impressive number, quite honestly.
It's early.
It is very, very early.
It's early.
Yeah, very, very early. But I think it's encouraging. We're not looking at a situation where Stadia was just the tip of a long slide down for the entire industry. It's looking more and more like Stadia was a separate case in and of its own, and it had its own internal issues that weren't to do with the problem of cloud gaming. That's my opinion, fellas, for what it's worth.
Yeah. Hip.
Next up, another one that's not exactly brand new, but I think it's new in terms of over the last week. Microsoft, those little wily scamps, experimenting with a Windows gaming handheld mode for Steam Deck-like devices. I've got to say, the thing I do love about Xbox, they're not afraid to embrace other people and other people's tech, are they? Unlike their major competitor. You know what I mean, fellas?
No, they want to be everywhere. They want to go wherever people can play Xbox in the cloud, handheld, computer, on your consoles, on your phones, everywhere.
Well,
So yeah,
and one of the things is what they might be trying to do is on devices like the Steam Deck, if they shrink down the footprint the operating system is taking up, it frees up room and resources for the game to run more efficiently. In some instances, anyway, I could see them trying to get a hacked down version of Windows to run games a little easier on some of these handhelds. Definitely, I could see a benefit to that for sure. Because some people go have a Steam Deck and they have to adjust settings to make the game run efficiently on the Steam Deck. And if the operating system that's running in the background isn't taking up so much footprint, it could help. Could help.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin, he was playing with us on the Steam Deck through xCloud, and he was kicking our butts. He was kicking my butt.
Was he?
Kicking my butt, yeah.
Well, because, it's a Windows game. The one device I guarantee you will never be able to play cloud gaming on, never, is the Switch. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they make all their money from sales of games.
That's
The device is the razor of the Gillette blade model, right?
That's true.
Make all your money on the blades, give the razor away.
Wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So for them, that's, I mean, it's how it used to be with the consoles. It ain't so much, and this is why I've always maintained that Microsoft are moving away from the console and putting the house on software and subscription services, where Sony don't want to do it because they make so much of their money from selling games, but they're in a place where they have to do something or they lose competitive edge. You know what I mean, fellas?
You make an interesting point, Rock.
I make a point, whether it's interesting or not, it's a whole other debate.
Right.
Oh, yes, guys, this one's interesting, says he. So, when Hogwarts came out, and Hogwarts Legacy, and everyone's like, "Oh, it doesn't have Quidditch.
Quidditch. Yeah.
No Quidditch." And then there was literally a piece in the story where he's going, "And I'm sorry, but we've stopped playing Quidditch this term." Blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
they reference it in the game multiple
do.
times on how you can get a broom, but Quidditch is postponed
Right.
this year. Yeah,
And we thought that was because there would be a DLC. Ha! Guess what?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Turns out they've been working on a
Yes.
new Quidditch game.
Yes.
And for several years, according to Warner Brothers, who of course own the rights to said game, and this is it, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. You can
Wow.
actually sign up right now if you want to get in on the playtesting, which I guess means it's probably fairly imminent in terms of when it's coming.
but this is not made by the same developer at all. This is a completely separate mobile
Separate
game.
and you can see it's a different art style.
Yeah.
Right.
It's much more in your kind of Fortnite-y.
So this doesn't mean that there won't be some kind of DLC for.
Oh yeah, but
I think they've said
I wouldn't
there
have thought.
won't, but-
No, that we're cannibalizing sales. I mean, ultimately, the IP owner is Warner Brothers. They're not going to. They're not going to have
with themselves.
invested in this game only to have Hogwarts people go, "But we can play it over here."
Yeah. We
No,
made a
thi-
better
this is-
version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you that they initially intended for Quidditch to be in Hogwarts Legacy, but Warner said, "No. We're going to do it as a separate game. It has potential to be, a kind of Rocket League type game."
I agree with Crow though. He said it looks like a mobile game. It's too bad they didn't add it to the Hogwarts game instead. But at least people will be able to do some Quidditch though. And it does seem like I can see why they didn't put it in the Harry Potter game, because it's about speed and the broom really it's a little janky to fly around a little bit.
It's no different than Star Wars. They had different. You got the Battlefront style Star Wars game. You got this type. There's just different. That's how you create more games. That's how you create more IPs.
Yeah.
To just cut it off and divide it up into something else to make money on.
That's true, Ray, and I think it's a good thing because it means that they devoted resources
Right.
exclusively to this as a game, rather than it being an afterthought for Hogwarts, where it may not have been as much. Look, I just think Rocket League. I mean, it's not going to be the same thing, but it may be free.
Rocket League is a game that was well designed and is extremely fun to play. Let's hope this is the same, even if there's a bunch of microtransactions in it. Let's hope that at least the game is
Yeah,
well
man, I
done
want
and
the
fun.
ultimate broom. I want.
There is a bunch of FAQs which answer a few questions, which we won't go through. But essentially, it says that it is a standalone game, that it won't appear as part of Hogwarts. Excuse me. They don't commit to a release date, although clearly it's at a point where it is testable. You can play test it, so it can't be that far.
They're not
down
even
the road.
giving you the release date yet or anything. I wonder
no,
if
no.
they're just like, "Hey, we have a Harry Potter property too. Don't forget."
Yeah,
I wonder.
yeah. Portkey Games, though, were they nothing to do with Hogwarts?
No, they are Portkey Games.
Yeah, well, that's who's built this. So it is the same people.
Wow, that's what I was wondering right there.
Yeah. That's what I thought when you said it wasn't the same. I thought, well, I'll find out in a second, but I'm fairly sure.
Dude, you're not part of the club. I'm a member of the club.
Oh,
The Wizard.
their yeah, I know what you're talking about. Their fan club or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
It used to be really big, didn't it? With its own world and everything. Was it
Right.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter world or something? Of course, they've got the TV series coming up soon as well.
I've heard that. Yeah.
They're
I
reckoning on a
guarantee
10-year franchise for that one.
we are
Whoa.
going to see a lot of Harry Potter for generations and generations.
Yes.
Well, it would be nice to have the kids that were once the main stars of Harry Potter be able to come back to the series and give us some adult Harry Potter. I think that could be interesting, depending on what they do with it, of course, and if they're even coming
Yeah.
back. Who knows?
What about Fantastic Beasts then? I mean, that's kind of adult Harry Potter, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's definitely set before the time period, so there's no he that shall not be named, Voldemort, none of
Right?
that. And,
Please
you know.
say it's not the.
Fruitigs, Winnie the Pooh. What's the one with the lady, the gaming lady?
Excuse me.
Lizzo!
No, not Lizzo.
Oh.
No. You know, the one where she lives in a manor house and she climbs up the side of Ben Nevis and stuff and finds ancient artifacts.
Laura Croft?
Laura
Laura
Croft.
Croft. Laura Croft. That's what
there's
happens.
millions of
happens.
UK IPs. Thank you,
Doctor
Dorgan.
Who, James Bond,
Tomb Raider,
Yes.
James Bond,
Yes.
Doctor Who.
Yes.
I mean, you could argue Star Wars. Where was Star Wars filmed, guys?
You know what?
Jumanji.
Shepherd. It was filmed in London.
No, it
just
wasn't.
outside
Yep.
London. It was.
Yeah.
Yep, and you know what? George Lucas kept getting very upset at the people who were in the crew because they'd go, tea time. Time to go get our tea. And he's like,
That's
"No,
total
listen."
bollocks, mate. That. There couldn't be a more blatant urban myth.
Oh my god.
Half the cast stopping for a cup of tea.
Well,
What a
you-
load
hey,
of
Hey,
what a
it's in
load
the
of
documentary.
BS.
It's in the doc-
Where did you get that?
And who can forget the best IP of all of them, of course, Peppa Pig.
Peppa.
love bacon.
The Peaky Blinders. Oh, we love Peaky Blinders, don't we, Ray?
Yes.
Is George Lucas ain't a Brit, is he? I'm sure he's not. He's
No,
from
he was born in California, man.
California, isn't
Yeah.
he?
California.
Yeah, Neverland Ranch,
But he
whatever it's called.
filmed over there at the Pine something Studios. I
Pinewood
believe it-
Studios.
Yeah, yep.
Absolutely. Of course, another major franchise, which I am absolutely certain has nothing to do with these green sceptred isles, is the old Angry Birds. Look at this. Sega are buying them for $1 billion.
Yes.
Or at least the IP. I mean, is there still life left in the old Angry Birds?
I will. Let me tell you. I love Angry Birds. That was my son when he was a toddler. I think I got him all the plush Angry Bird. Like his bed, he was covered with Angry Birds. And I would admit, when I would tuck him to go to bed, he'd have all the Angry Birds lined up, all of them, when he went to sleep. And he loved. And now he's like. GTA, Fortnite, but
So
I
is
love Angry Birds.
Is it an age? Is it a? I mean, I still see Angry Birds on merch and
Rodeo,
stuff.
or however you call them,
Yeah.
however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah, I think that's great.
They're a massive studio. They're not just into Angry Birds anymore, but I can guarantee that Angry Birds is still flipping coin. They've got Angry Birds 1, Angry Birds 2. They've got the Angry
Star
Birds
Wars.
Star Wars. They've got the pig
Oh,
one
yeah.
where you build stuff. I mean, they have a
You-
movie. I mean, trust me, if they get,
Right.
I don't know what they get for their money, I guess is what I'm saying. Sega, what they actually get, but I'm totally sure that this IP still brings in a bunch of coin.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They even
could
had an
do
RPG
Angry
version of
Birds
this game.
Fortnite. You could have some Angry Birds playing Fortnite. You could have like whatever IP. You can mix them just like they did with the rabbits and they did with what was it? Ubisoft.
One
and,
that's very
Disney.
cool. that Robio does is an RPG version of Angry Birds. You get a cast of like 3 or 4 Angry Birds, and you go do like RPG fights where you take turns attacking and then waiting for them to attack. Anyway, it's very, very interesting. There's a whole bunch of properties under the Angry Birds IP that are worth checking out if you never have.
Yeah, no, fair point. And of course, we've said it recently. Microsoft are dead keen to get in on the mobile scene. I'm surprised they didn't pick up Angry Birds. I could see them revitalizing the franchise. Like these guys say, Take-Two, they bought Zynga. They're the guys behind Wordle and stuff, aren't they? For 12.7 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, there's value in them mobile games, guys.
So what
Yes.
I guess, what is your guys' opinion on what Sega benefits from buying this company?
Why do we think? Well,
Like, what
firstly, I suppose you have
benefits
to
Sega?
ask yourself. I mean, what have they got? They've got Sonic and all of his mates, and then that's it, isn't it? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
maybe
true.
they're looking
I mean,
to boost or bolster their entire catalog of IP by picking up, maybe IP, maybe franchises that once were massive and now they're not quite so. So you can get them on the cheap, but they've still got some amount of juice left in the
I'm
end.
going to cross my fingers and hope for the Sega handheld. Sony's talking about one. Why not Sega bring one to us?
Well, Vet says
I mean,
Dreamcast too.
Yeah,
There you
2.0
go.
could be.
Yeah.
you just redo it, repackage it, and get it to the next generation of kids. That's what you do. And then you can take a Sega, somebody like a Sega character and fuse it with Angry Birds. I mean, there's so much that you could do. I mean, hell, you could do the Yakuzas and the Angry Birds. I don't know. You could do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they don't have some great franchises with things like Yakuza and so on. But I mean, in terms of global, Marvel, Star Wars, Disney kind of
My only
space.
thought is, what is Sega going to do with Angry Birds? Like, that's why I mentioned a handheld, just because, I don't know. Kind of a weird move, unless you're just trying to,
Well, it is also my favorite ever Peter Kay line. Wherein he gets into a car and says, "Angry Birds, I've dated a few of them."
I've dated a few. Love it.
Car Share, one of the best TV series ever. If you guys ever get to see it. Next up is I did watch it. Final Fantasy 16. Coming to PlayStation did a big old state of play. Do you guys see it? What do you think? It's a sort of a slight deviation in the Final Fantasy world. I love the look of this thing.
It looks amazing. I wish there was. I heard there's no co-op.
Oh right, we got a dog.
Well, I can say this. As long as they allow you to pet the dog and pet the animals and feed them or whatever, people fall in love with that. Every time my wife is playing Harry Potter, she sees a cat and she goes, "I have to pet it." And then every time she pets it, she goes, having this cat turn into a human and go, "What are you doing?" Like is a missed opportunity. She's waiting for one of these cats to transform into a human and be like, "Don't touch me."
This is
amazing.
This is a game I want from my PS5 library. Especially, I watched it in 4K and my jaw just hit the floor.
It's gorgeous, Ray, isn't it?
Is this a continuation of any of the characters?
No.
Or is this a totally new game?
I believe you don't need to have played any of the previous games. I mean, I'm sure it's in the universe, etc. But my understanding is it's not a follow-on from
Right, it's not continuing
15
a character,
or
yeah.
5 or whatever.
Awesome.
15, yeah. That's my understanding. But it does. I thought it really looked like a game I could get my head into. If anything, it was a bit like what's that Cry game? What's it called? The Cry Wolf Cry.
Wait a minute. Did you just say the crying game?
No, he's working on it.
The crying game.
The crying game.
That's a horrible movie, by the way. you say.
Yeah, well, no, it was all right. As in previous Final Fantasy games, Clive will occasionally be joined by other party members. Is Clive Illinden's already in the game? Look at this.
He's in it.
He's already there. He's ahead of the game already.
He ain't petting no dog. I'll tell you that.
No. Wow. How cool is that? Yeah, I think it looks great. I know that fans are super pumped, really looking forward to it. I can't remember the release date. It's not that far down the road, is it? Does it say anywhere here? Oh, June the 2nd. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So just over a month. Well, just under 2 months. About 2 months. Bar a couple of days. Devil May Cry. Thank you, my friend. That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's
of.
the crying game.
That's what I meant. The crying game.
Very different.
What he meant. I know
Very different.
I know what he was talking about.
That's what I'm saying. That looks a lot like Devil May Cry. It's got that kind of feel to it, which is a great game. Great game.
Yeah.
Can't complain. Where are we? Ubisoft. I don't remember. I couldn't remember when I was compiling the news whether we covered this last week or whether it sneaked in the week.
Oh my
But
god, I am so upset.
what are you upset about, Ray?
Hold on.
Come
My
on.
son, he, Dad, I want to play Far Cry 6 on the Xbox.
Yeah.
I said, son, you can get on the PC. I have, Ubisoft PC. No, I want to play Far Cry 6 on the. It's only $14.99. I said, okay, well, we'll wait a few days. It's coming out soon. No, it's not. Come on, Dad, please. And he begged me. I said, all right. So I went on. I got Far Cry 6. Do you know what came out the next day?
Oh, not for free on Game Pass.
Far Cry 6.
Lies, all lies.
All lies, he says. That's right.
No lie.
He's calling you out, bro.
Don't listen to my father. Brilliant. Oh dear, that was on a par with Rock Players last week when Mini Vet shoved whipped cream into Vet's face live on camera. That was an hilarious moment.
Was that exciting?
Oh, brilliant stuff. So what? It came. What the next day they released Ubisoft Plus on Xbox.
Yes.
You see,
Yes.
I've not been able to find it on there. I don't know where I can go to get Ubisoft. I mean, I know I can sign up. I connected my account, but I didn't know if it was like Luna and GFN, where if you own the games, you can play them on the platform. I tried. It wasn't having none of it.
Go do an update.
Okay.
Go try an update or something.
Okay, I'll reset it. I'll turn it off and on again.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. Count to 30.
There you go. So, Ray, what does it mean? What exactly does it mean Ubisoft Plus is finally launching on Xbox?
If you go on Game Pass, you will see like Wildlands. You'll see some. It'll have the Ubisoft logo, and then some of them even the cloud. You can play them in the cloud on Game Pass. So when you go in your library, especially in Game Pass, you'll see some of those Ubisoft games that you can play.
And there's about, 100, I think?
I didn't even count. I didn't count it.
I think it's
But
about 100.
but it's
Oh, here you
it's-
go. 60. Beg your
Yeah.
pardon. So
Yeah.
on Xbox, you'll have access to more than 60. On PC, there are 100. But some of those 100 are PC-only games. And of course, there is talk of Xbox PC games coming to the Xbox via cloud.
Right.
So don't throw your toys out the pram just yet, people. You never know, do you? Cloudbusters, hello, are you? Says, does Ubi Plus carry over your PC save files on Xbox? There's a question for you, Ray.
It better. It better. I've been playing other games. I haven't gone in and play
Yeah,
to find
any-
out.
Any game
But it
that
should,
is
it
cross
should.
save, it does get put up in the cloud. Your save
Yeah.
does.
That's pretty much everything from about December 2020 forward, isn't it? So when they first brought out Ubisoft Connect.
Well, I'll tell you this: the one title that did not have it at all.
Oh,
Was,
don't say it. Don't
yeah.
say it.
Which
one?
game, Ray? Which game?
was it
Breakpoint.
watched? Oh,
Break-
yeah. Well, that was
Breakpoint.
that was pre-20.
I know, and it was dead. They said it was all over with, but it didn't have the cross save.
But I agree. I
all that
know.
grind is gone.
All that time in Stadia, and I know you could download it and stuff, but I'm too lazy. I never did, and now I don't want to play it anymore. Breakpoint.
Yeah, no, we couldn't import or save from Stadia at all. It's just you'd be starting over.
Hang on a second. I'm at the same place at Breakpoint in my GeForce Now version.
Are you sure? I'm not.
No, sorry, no, I'm not. I'm thinking Division 2.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Sorry,
yeah, Division.
yes.
What is cross save? Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, Breakpoint.
Gone.
I know.
Rock, that was the first co-op game I've ever played with you, Rock.
It was, my friend. It was.
Yes.
It was literally, wasn't it? It was when we became friends.
Yes.
I remember it running. I remember jumping in and having a little chat with you, and it was lovely.
Yeah.
And now look at us. We've been man and man ever since. Mano el mano. No, it's been good. That was good. Miss Phoenix says, I need to go back through the PlayStation library. I have the middle membership option extra. I haven't checked it for a couple of months. Yeah, there's always good stuff. They put a few good games on there today. I've got the top because I had PlayStation Now. And they kind of merged. Remember, they did a thing where if you had all the
Yes.
various bits, they put them all together, and you got the
together.
top one. But I've looked at it, guys, and it's less than $10 a month. So I'm thinking it's actually, when you look at what games you get every month on there, some amazing titles. It's worth it, I think, and also you get the cloud as well. I think it's well worth that amount of cash. So I'm when I think mine comes up next month for renewal, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna pay for it. I'm quite happy to.
As long as there's at least 3 Ubisoft titles that you actually want to play through or complete, it's definitely worth the price.
Oh, not on about Ubisoft Plus.
Oh.
I'm on about the PlayStation Premium.
Oh, gotcha.
The top PlayStation tier, which no, but Ubisoft Plus is $18.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of cash, given that they aren't scheduling to release very much this
No,
year.
they
Do you
just
think-
canceled they just canceled the pre-orders for Assassin's Creed Mirage. So.
Right. So
Did
Mirage,
they?
Mirage and Skull and
Ooh.
Bones now. So I'm wondering if those 2 titles were supposed to carry them through. Well, now they're not gonna, because they're not gonna be released. So
This is the thing. I spoke to somebody from Ubisoft, I think it was last week, and they said, well, there's a few. They've got X Defiant, of course, that's coming up. There was another one or two that he mentioned.
Heartland Division 2 Heartland.
Yes, that was one of them. Thank you, Ray. But equally, I thought well, firstly, I'm not going to play either because I'm not into multiplayer. So PvP wouldn't bother me. I'm not interested. I had an opportunity, as we all did, to play the public beta of X Defiant.
Yep,
by the time I got myself in gear, it was all over. So it never happened for me. But I think PlayStation Plus Premium, I mean, it's literally $99.99 a year. So it's about £8, whatever, a month. And when you think of what you get for that, I think it's freaking good value, quite frankly. I mean, that's the price that you'd pay, for example, for Boosteroid, where all you're doing is playing games that you've had to buy elsewhere. They're giving me 20 games a month over at PlayStation, including on their version of Cloud. So, I think it's good value. But sadly, people are married to their particular tribe, aren't they?
I go all over the place.
Yeah, but I do as well. I mean, I've got, as you
All
know,
over.
I've got Game Pass Ultimate, I've got GeForce Now Ultimate, I've got Boosteroid. I mean, I've
My wife,
Nintendo.
My wife, she's looking at all the subscription. Do we really need all these subscriptions? Yes.
I know. There was only one other little piece of news, which was, funnily enough, that there's an exclusive sale over at Xbox for Game Pass members. But, I mean, it's just a bunch of games. And funnily enough, guess what? As always, most of them are Ubisoft games. It's the usual way.
Make sure you guys get your points, collect your points, because those points can turn into cash to get you a gift card to make a purchase. Make sure.
I paid for a couple of months of Game Pass Ultimate with mine.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a few. There's about 200 plus games. They've also got sales in other places, but this one's exclusive to Game Pass members, so you get additional discounts. And it's not bad. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, 50%. I mean, I don't know, because the Ubisoft games, let's face it, they're on permanent sales somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah, usually you
Right.
can find them
Right.
at a
Yeah.
discount.
Right.
But they've got others. Dead by Daylight's in there. Mind you, that's another one where they're usually on sale somewhere, aren't they? Golf with your friends, Ray. Bouncy castle course. Oh dear.
I think
And there's a few
Ray
of them.
wants less golf with his friends. Just a little less.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. You can't knock him for that. Right. I think that'll do us for the news, guys. I decided to bring us over here to the non-pro scene, which will mean nothing to our lovely audience. But I'm going to kick you guys over to the Simply Pawn screen.
Oh,
So if you're ready and willing and able,
yes.
we can share with you. Here we go.
Oh, look at that guy.
Woohoo.
All right.
Oh yeah,
So-
man.
So I'm going to discuss Cyberpunk. I'm going to give you just a few little tips. I've already discussed it at length before, but this is the overdrive mode. I think it's really fantastic what they did to the game. They really did revolutionize the lighting and all that stuff. Let me just move it along just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So the overdrive mode, what it does is it cranks up the ray tracing and it adds path tracing, which, as Rokk was mentioning earlier, ray tracing picks up 1 or 2 points of light and then tries to figure out which way it bounces and reflects and all that stuff. And path tracing takes the guessing out of it, so it knows where the path starts and where it ends, and that's reflections, hot spots, spikes, the absolute whole nine. The game itself is super, super fun. I'm just trying to skip ahead to better action. There we go. So, diversify your play style, man. Play how you want. You can run in guns a-blazing. You can hack. You can do all this stuff. There's definitely different builds in the game that you can focus on. But right off of the bat, you don't have a build. So you can sneak. You can go in guns a-blazing. You can play how you want. You will upset some of the fixers and some of the mission parameters because they don't want to be seen or vice versa. But you don't have to worry about any of that. You can just make everybody upset at you and get the mission done how you want. I tend to do what they want me to by sneaking around and that kind of stuff. Focus on the side quests. When you start the game, the game forces you almost to get to the big gig where you end up meeting Johnny Silverhand. No spoilers. I'm not giving all that stuff away. But the game kind of forces you to get to that point. But as soon as the first city opens up to you, you can ignore the main stories and dive into the side quests. And that's what I suggest you do. In the very beginning, they give you a montage of 2 minutes showing you and Jackie Wells, who is a fantastic character, by the way. It shows you building up your reputation in Night City. And then right after that cutscene, it tells you to go meet and start this big gig. Well, instead of doing that, go around and do all your side quests. They're little squares on the map that says something is happening here. You show up there, a fixer will call you on the phone and give you mission parameters. Follow those mission parameters to get bonuses and extra payout for doing what they're asking you to do. When you do end up getting Johnny Silverhand, try to be nice to him. Keep the conversation going. There's a secret ending way at the end of the game, but you have to have certain conversations with Johnny, and you have to do a few of the missions a certain way. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you would like to try the Don't Fear the Reaper ending, Google what the requirements are. As long as you've played through the game again, you won't get a spoiler from that. Explore the verticality of the city. Much of the places you can find and explore and find interesting items or weapons is the city is vertical. So as far as you can run across, you can almost go up. There's all kinds of ledges to grab a hold of. As soon as you can upgrade your legs to get the double jump, definitely do that. It helps so much to get in and out of some of these places. So definitely explore vertically. There's a whole lot above you, not just spread out across in front of you. Get the best cyberware ASAP. Now, my character is kind of like a ninja. I run around and I try not to shoot my guns. I try to just hack them and take them down. If I do take somebody down, I try to incapacitate them rather than kill them. It's just the playthrough that I'm doing this time. But the cyberware helps a lot. You can blind somebody to get past them. You can even have them commit suicide. There's all kinds of different quick hacks, but definitely upgrade your deck that stores all your quick hacks and upgrade your quick hacks. Eventually, you'll be able to craft legendary quick hacks, but that's a little further in the game. And then whenever you're running up to these little encounters, always check the level of intensity. Is it easy? Is it medium? Or is it extreme and it's hard? That will help you from dying repeatedly and stuff. But I'm going to triple down on this. Make sure you check the mission parameters. If they don't want you to be seen, don't be seen. You get a bonus for these things. And I love the quick hacking. You feel like a superhero. There's a quick hack called Contagion, and if you get the parameter of that expanded with the legendary mod, and you also have your in your build, you can select some other little additions. Basically, you can contagion somebody, which puts like a virus in their operating system, and as soon as it activates on them, it spreads to somebody else. So when you get this all decked out, you can scan the room, hit one guy with it, and back up. And you can watch the entire like structure. Everybody inside will start going down. It's super cool and super amazing. But overall, I would say the game is absolutely fantastic. Don't miss out on this title. If you haven't played it, pick it up. You can get it on CD keys for like $20. The DLC, the Phantom Liberty, is coming out really soon, which is supposed to expand the story in some ways and give you some more content. There's going to be some major bug fixes coming to revamp the cops and some of the city structure on how like the gangs respond and stuff like that. So super excited for that. Now on to the overdrive mode. Basically what NVIDIA did is they have a top-of-the-line graphics card right now called the 4090. GFN offers you the step down for the ultimate tier, which is a 4080. And with these two cards, you can crank up all the settings to max. You can also crank up the ray tracing to overdrive and add path tracing. And what that really does is it completely revamps the lighting. You can't really tell in some of the areas that I'm running around in right now and running really fast, but everything has a reflection. If you're in a dark room, the room is going to be very, very dark to where you can barely see. If there's a shaft of light coming in that room, there's going to be a hot spot on the ground that you can't really see the ground anymore. It's just super bright, and then rays and shafts of light break off from that and will reflect on puddles and reflect off of even eyeglasses. It's very remarkable, man, but it's definitely a tech demo preview of things to come. It doesn't run well even on the 4090. So all it is it's showing you what games will be in the future, basically. Within a few generations of graphics card, there will be no performance hit for turning on path tracing. It'll be just like ray tracing now to where, well, ray tracing still takes a hit as well on the cards, but not as much as the path tracing. If you take all the DLSS, all the frame generation away from Cyberpunk and you run it on a 4090, you're going to get 16 to 20 frames per second, almost like a slideshow. It won't even be at 30. So it just shows you how much further this path tracing technology actually is and how far away it is for normal users. This is a demo tech preview, and that's all it is. It looks gorgeous, and I can play it at almost locked at 60. Sometimes it'll dip just a little below, even with frame generation on, but it is incredible. And if you do have the system or you have the GeForce Now Ultimate tier, crank up those settings, man. You have nothing to fear except the beautiful experience. If you see your frame rates dropping a little bit, go ahead and turn it off. But If you have access to the 4080 and the DLSS 3.0, you should be able to get close to 60, even with the 4080. So
I suppose then, in a way, this is the modern equivalent of Crisis.
yes,
Back in the day when nobody could run it at ultra.
Right.
And now you can, but you couldn't back then. And
Yes.
it's the same here, isn't it? This is a future when
it is. So Crisis was like a meme for a long time. Can your system run Crisis? Can you crank everything up? That's basically what they did with this game. At first I thought that they were trying to offer this up as a compelling addition, but it's actually a tech preview. So I understand now. I was thinking, why would you cripple a 4090? But I get it. They're trying to show what could be possible in the future.
I've been playing on the 4080 on GeForce Now, and I'm gonna tell you, man, it looks amazing. Yeah. And even when I'm driving a motorcycle going full speed, the frames per second looks amazing. The sunlight, the shine off the mud puddles, the streets look like ice rings. It's just slick. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Now the one thing I have to say, with all the particle effects turned up and with the overdrive mode on, walk into a bar and watch somebody smoke a cigarette. The way that smoke hangs in the air and the light goes through it, it looks like substance, like you could reach out and grab it like a cloud. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is stunning. So Crisis, there you go. Brilliant stuff, as always, William. Let's definitely deserves one of these. Oh yeah, the champ. The champ. Thank you so much, my friend. Oh, hang on, have another one on me. So good they clapped him twice. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Well, you know what's coming up next, don't you? Hey, little Twinkle Toes. Here he is. Raimundo.
We are praising my good friend Crystal Surette. She's let me tell you, when we're playing it like today, like Tuesday, she's like, I gotta get off, I gotta get ready for the Rokk Show. And she'll jump off the game and she'll jump in front of her TV to watch us and the Rokk Show. She's a great supporter to a lot of us streamers, to a lot of us gamers out. She is a wonderful person. Not only am I subscribed, but I also hit that notification bell. She's at about 49 subscribers. We have to get her like past 100 and beyond.
100%.
She does Disney Dreamlight. She's got some other games. She's been playing with us. She's been playing Evil Dead with us. Yeah. Other games that, I mean, she can hang with us. But thank you for your support, Crystal. You're wonderful. We love you. She's in our Discord chats talking. She's a wonderful mother of 3 kids, and just wanted to praise you and let you know how much we appreciate you in the community and how much us on the Rokk panel appreciate you. Thank you.
That's a little Disney Tinkerbell. Sending our love. You absolutely agree. Crystal's been amazing. She's not been with us for a great deal of time, but she's really impacted, and she sends a motherly vibe that I think we all really appreciate, and she's doing great stuff as well. I'm really pushing hard to try and get as much content out as possible. So I agree. Subscribe and follow. Let me just get the banner back up again, because this is her channel, and she's also
on Twitter, CCC2422 at CCC2422.
That's it. And YouTube at Surette, SURETT. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Raymond. Another awesome
Thank you.
Praise, as always. Oh, there we go. And there's that beautiful. We need to update your avatar, my friend, don't we? You've got a new one now.
Yes, I do. I do.
We need to.
I've upgraded from 8-bit, trying to go up some.
Yeah, you're all the way up to 32-bit now. Be 64-bit when you inherit William's card. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Right. Let us go back here. We'll close that down because it's the end of the show, guys. It's that time again. Oh no, there's
Yes.
me all doing the thing on my own. There we are. Ah, it's a sad one for us, isn't it, fellas?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't. I can't even bring myself to say it, but William won't be with us for some time because you are actually, I think it's this Friday, my friend. You're going up to have the specialists, to meet the specialists for your forthcoming op, and it's a significant operation. It's one that's gonna literally take you out for some time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So tomorrow I go rent my car. I won't be streaming. I won't be streaming. And then Thursday we leave out, and Friday I hit Minnesota and get some answers and get a plan going for what they're gonna do and when they're gonna do it. But yeah, when they do decide to get down to business, I'm gonna be gone for a little while. So sadly, this will be my last Rokk Show for a while. But as soon as I'm on the mend, I shall be back. But it's going to be a little while, though.
You can absolutely count on that, my friend. Your seat will be kept very, very warm, and you will be deeply missed. And I mean that, and I say that with absolute sincerity. I know Ray feels the same way. I'm assuming David does. I haven't seen him for a while.
I think you're right.
I'm sure David feels exactly the same way. No, well, we all wish you the absolute best, my friend. It goes without saying, and I know certainly everybody in the chat feels the same way.
Right.
You're a massive part of this show, and it's just not going to be the same without you. So, all we can do is wish you a very successful operation and a very, very speedy recovery. And you know where we live if you need anything. Even if you just want your voice to be on the show when you're lying down in your bed and you're bored out of your brain, we can accommodate anything.
Exactly.
We would love to have you on, and of course, everybody's showing their love in the chat as you'd expect.
Yes.
Because you are a lovely guy, and you will be sincerely missed. But we wish you the absolute best. So I'm
And
not going to
it's
ask you what you'll be doing in the next week because that would be
Right.
cruel.
Yeah. So a safe trip there and back, my friend. Safe trip
Oh,
there
yes.
and back. And I'm praying for you, and I wish you a speedy recovery and everything, brother. Love you.
Yeah, 100%, my friend, 100%. So Raymond,
Yes.
what will you be doing in the coming week?
Man, it's NBA playoffs. I might take a break tonight to watch some basketball and get into some games tonight. So I'm probably gonna put out on my Twitter page, not streaming, but I will be back probably Saturday to do some streaming, and I do stuff with Lo-Fi and the CGTV crew on the weekends, and then I'm on Ray3473. Just look out for my tweets. I'm tweeting what I'll be doing and stuff, and I'm also on the Rokk brand. And you guys look for Rokk, look for me, and yeah, we move on. We'll keep the show going, and we got your seat, brother. You're here with us in spirit.
Goes
Always.
without 100%.
Yes.
Goes without saying. It would not be the same without you, my friend. So we can't wait for you to get back. I've had requests to stream some more Animal Crossing. I've had little people through some of the parents that watch the show who've said that their children loved it when I streamed Animal Crossing, and they want to see more of it. So I'm going to try and get some more Animal Crossing in. I'm not touching Disney because Vet has very much made that his own.
He's cornered the market. He's cornered the market.
Hey, shout out to Vet. He's all praise. He is killing it with the Disney.
Absolutely.
And you guys make sure you put him on notification and check him out.
He's
doing a
getting the
fabulous
attention he
job.
deserves. I've
Yes.
said this to him
Yes.
offline.
Yes.
It's great. He's finally he's found his groove. He's found his audience. I think it's all up and up and up from now on. So I think it's absolutely brilliant. Phoenix says he is indeed the next Disney princess. You might say that. I couldn't possibly comment. So I'll be doing some of that, and we've got more rock around the clocks. We've got players on Thursday. Not sure at the moment who will be on there, but of course Bjorn 100% will be. As for next week's Rokk Show, well, hopefully Dave will be back, but if he isn't, and there's no pressure, it'll either be just me and Ray, or we might have a guest host. We're working. We'll have to see where it goes. But I might just leave a little avatar of William in the corner, like Tiny Tim's chair in A Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Where Scrooge says, "Who sat in that chair, Spirit?" That was young Tim.
You got to have 3 different versions, though. You got to have one crying, one happy.
Right.
We can have you pop up, can we? We could make we could make you an emoji. That would be very special. Excellent stuff, gentlemen. A fantastic show as always. Thank you so much in the chat. You've been amazing today. Absolutely brilliant stuff. I'll be back tomorrow, and of course, Raymond will be streaming later today in Western Town time, I'm assuming.
I'm taking a break. Oh, look who showed up. Look who just showed up in the
he's been watching the whole show, guys.
Yeah,
you know that.
He almost gave it away. He almost commented on Bear at the beginning.
He's like the little Bambi. I've just woken up. Think I'm a smidge late.
Yeah.
Dear. Well, you're going to get a D in your report, end of term report, David. I'm afraid. Attendance D. Hope you enjoyed your nap, says Phoenix. Guys, have a fantastic. I'm going to say have a fantastic week, William. I know you're going to be worried, my friend. Goes without saying. I'm sure it's all going to be absolutely for the best. We can't wait to get you back. Love you to the moon and back, my friend.
Yes.
Take it easy, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, chat. You guys are amazing.
Bless you all. We will see you next Tuesday in one form or another. Have a great week in the meantime. Take care.